Welcome back. I'm Wavepunk, and this is day 87 of producing for a year. Today we're doing, I think, mix number 4 of our boss fight Psytrance chiptune track here, and we wrestle through a lot of things. It takes us about 40 minutes. Let's see what we did today.
Okay, so last time I was just trying to get all the volume of the track to kind of be more even, so there wasn't such an extreme between the quietest sections and the loudest sections. Particularly the loudest section was just so much louder than the average of the rest of the track. We got that, but I wasn't confident it sounded good. Now, I think everything sounds better. It's really hard for me to know. If you play just one thing, I'll be like, oh, that sounds good. And you play another thing with a slight change to it, be like, does it sound better? The question of just, does it just sound louder? Does it sound better? I don't know. The whole mix feels more muddy now, I think. The biggest things I did today, these kind of bumps in the bass, they were in sections where it feels like the overall piece kind of loses some energy because there's not as much melodic information going on. I try to have the bass kind of swell up and fill that space a little bit. I increased the volume in general on a lot of our kind of melodic items. The biggest amount of automation I did was basically manually sidechain compressing this ARP to the stabs in the build section here, this bit. I like the idea of that like filling in the gaps between the stabs up there. So I could have like put all those on a bus and then put a sidechain compression on this to that bus, but this felt fine. This felt good, and it gives me a little bit more control where I could come back, and if these are jumping out too much, I could pull them all down a little bit. Increase the volume of the strings in a few spots. Had the organ at the beginning kind of swell in instead of just like bop being there. Pulled up a lot of volumes on a lot of little effects to have them stand out differently, and also then put a different type of limiter. I really didn't like the way things sounded when it was getting knocked down by the other limiter. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and be like I can really tell a difference. It could be completely placebo, but my ear feels like it's enjoying this more than the other. And I had it do a gain increase, and then lastly I did round off 18K and up on the master before and after the limiter, just in case there's anything kind of being added by maybe the gain increase of the limiter there. So nothing at 18K going into the limiter, nothing at 18K coming out of the limiter. But let's render this and see what this looks like. Okay, so these are organized chronologically from oldest to newest. Definitely get a nice larger volume going on here in the new track, but we are whacking the edges. That limiter is definitely kind of getting schmacked here in the new one. Remember yesterday I was like, oh, this is getting hit, and then here we kind of like stopped that. That was good. Here we're back to that. Going out the edge. There's some. We're getting to the edge. That means limited. I'm gonna try and volume match these here. Okay, so they're all kind of volume matched here. So if I play the original mix to yesterday's mix, to today's mix, they're all the same volume. Okay, so over here, exactly the same volume. Actually, no, that makes sense. Never mind. I was gonna say I was surprised because it's quieter. Our new mix is quieter over here. You can hear it. There's a distinct drop in volume. It's small, but there is definitely there. But that makes sense because we have intentionally crushed down the volume of this section so that it matches the volume of the other section. So when I volume matched over here in what is a quieter section, right? This is much louder here, so when I pull this down to match that, and then when this gets loud, this will still be the same. So that does actually make sense. Which I guess is a good thing. The main thing I'm noticing different in these two mixes is that the swells in our original mix have a lot of space. Where I feel like there's just less of that here. And I think I want more of it, but they are the things that take up the most sound, so I need to kind of crush it. I guess I need to pull melodic information even further back. Interesting, that thing I sidechained today, without the sidechaining, it sounded like this. It's there. If we switch it. The effect is maybe strong. I maybe need to pull those back just for the fun of it. And just for science. This is our original mix. Much quieter. I'm just gonna boost this up. So this thing, okay, so if I boost this original mix that's crazy more dynamic up, listen to how much better this drum sounds when it comes, how much better the kick sounds when it comes in here. So much energy. That sounds great. Today's mix. Same volume matched, right? Maybe even slightly louder. Do I just need to increase the? But it's part of that is the dynamic change, that it goes from a quiet section to a loud section, so that impact hits you. You know, the way that like louder feels better. This section is this piece up here is going from quieter to louder, so it just sounds better. But also those drums, I don't know. I want this to feel like that. This. Everything here feels bad. While the track itself is louder, right? I've got this down at -3.2 and I've got this up at +5. So like the actual loudness of the track is dramatically different. I feel like I'm just going about this mixing all wrong. Where like, I feel like if you asked me, if you put a gun to my head and said I had to release one right now, I think I'd probably release this. Compare these two. It just falls off a cliff. It feels like, this feels like it's like, hey, you're with the drums, start hitting it. Bum, 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 bum. Where this one feels like the drums like just are all that matters. Like the drum comes in and like owns the world. It's like, no, you live in my universe now, sir. I don't know. So I've successfully gotten a more dynamically average track, but I think I have robbed it of so much of what makes it good. So I don't know what to do about that. Maybe there's a cutting the difference sort of thing. Like I can go back to this because I do still have this project file. I can go back to this and just pull this up. But if I pull this up, then the effect is not as strong. And this track still has the problem of this section, headphone warning. That's so loud. And I want it to be loud. I want that to be loud as sections. So what do I do? How do I make that change? I don't know. I'm just sitting here complaining at you guys right now. It's been an hour. I'm learning things, but I'm not going to learn anything new just sitting here yelling at you guys. So let's see. I'll see if I can figure some stuff out. And I will talk to you guys at another time. Thanks so much for watching. See you all tomorrow.